Good evening. This is All India Radio. I am Nishit Kumar and with me is Saira Mujtaba with the evening news. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to release the next installment of financial benefit under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi tomorrow. Prime Minister to chair UNSC high-level open debate on enhancing maritime security tomorrow evening. Over 50 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 97.39%. Delhi government allows schools to partially open for class 10th and 12th from tomorrow. Weekly markets to also reopen with COVID-19 protocols in place. Met Department warns of heavy rain and lightning in different parts of Bihar for the next 2 days. 79th anniversary of Quit India movement observed today. Curtains come down on Tokyo Olympics with a glittering closing ceremony on spectators. Bronze winner wrestler Bajrang Punia leads the Indian contingent. And in cricket, final day's play of the first test between India and England in Nottingham delayed due to rain. As the nationwide free COVID-19 vaccination campaign at government facilities for those above 18 years is going on, we advise our young listeners to get vaccinated and also help others get vaccinated. We also advise our listeners not to lower their guard as COVID-19 remains a threat to our health. Please stay at home unless it is essential to go out and continue to follow these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask. Maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing and focus on hand and safe hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011 2397 8046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will release the next installment of financial benefit under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi PM Kisan scheme at 12:30 p.m. tomorrow through video conferencing. This will enable the transfer of an amount of over 19,500 crore rupees to more than 9 crore 75 lakh beneficiary farmer families. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that the government is working continuously to make the life of hard-working farmers of the country more easy. He said the PM Kisan scheme has brought positive changes in the lives of the farmer, which is a matter of great joy. Our correspondent reports that during the event, Prime Minister will address the nation and also interact with the farmer beneficiaries.
PM Kisan scheme was launched in 2019 with an aim to provide income support to all landholder farmer families across the country. Under the scheme, a financial benefit of 6,000 rupees per year is provided to the eligible beneficiary farmer families, payable in 3 installments of 2,000 rupees each. The scheme is being implemented as central sector scheme with 100% financial support by the central government. The fund is transferred directly to the bank accounts of the beneficiaries. Under the scheme, Samman Rashi of over 1,38,000 crore rupees has been transferred to the farmer families so far. With Dipendra Anand Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
Prime Minister will also chair the UNSC high-level open debate on enhancing maritime security, a case for international cooperation at 5:30 p.m. tomorrow through video conferencing. The open debate will focus on ways to effectively counter maritime crime and insecurity and strengthen coordination in the maritime domain. Prime Minister Modi will be the first Indian Prime Minister to preside over a UN Security Council open debate. The meeting is expected to be attended by several heads of state and government of member states of the United Nations Security Council and high-level briefers from the UN system and key regional organizations. The event will be broadcast live on the United Nations Security Council website. The UN Security Council has discussed and passed resolutions on different aspects of maritime security and maritime crime. However, this will be the first time that maritime security will be discussed in a holistic manner as an exclusive agenda item in such a high-level open debate. The oceans have played an important part in India's history right from the time of the Indus Valley civilization. Based on our civilizational ethos that sees the seas as an enabler of shared peace and prosperity, Prime Minister Narendra Modi put forward the vision of SAGAR, an acronym for Security and Growth for All in the region in 2015. This vision focuses on cooperative measures for sustainable use of the oceans and provides a framework for a safe, secure and stable maritime domain in the region. In 2019, at the East Asia Summit, this initiative was further elaborated through the Indo-Pacific Oceans Initiative with a focus on 7 pillars of maritime security. This include maritime ecology, maritime resources, capacity building and resource sharing, disaster risk reduction and management, science, technology and academic cooperation, and trade connectivity and maritime transport.
India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage has crossed 50 crore 68 lakhs. Over 55 lakh 91,000 vaccine doses were administered in the last 24 hours. A total of 43,910 patients recovered in the last 24 hours. The recovery rate is currently at 97.39%. Over 3 crore 10 lakh 99,000 people have recovered across the country so far. More than 39,000 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. India's active caseload is currently 4,06,822. Active cases constitute 1.27% of total cases. A total of 491 deaths were also reported in the last 24 hours. Testing capacity has been substantially ramped up and 48 crore tests were conducted in total. Schools in the national capital have been allowed to partially open for students of Class 10th and Class 12th from tomorrow. According to an order released by the Delhi Disaster Management Authority, DDMA, students of classes 10th and 12th in Delhi are permitted to visit their schools for admission-related work, including counselling, guidance and practical activities related to the board exams. As per the order, health checkups and referral services situated in schools or conducted from there can resume. It says children of all ages may visit these centres accompanied by their parents or guardians. The Directorate of Education will issue appropriate guidelines with respect to these permitted activities to ensure that COVID-19 protocols are followed and children's safety is ensured. Giving further relaxations in COVID-induced restrictions with effect from tomorrow, the DDMA in its order said that all authorized weekly markets are also allowed subject to strict compliance of guidelines issued by the government. No unauthorized weekly market is allowed to function. It said RT-PCR test or rapid antigen test of vendors and customers of weekly markets will be conducted on random basis by the district magistrate concerned regularly, and in case of positive report, action will be taken. The DDMA order will remain effective from tomorrow to the 23rd of this month. In containment zones, only essential activities will be allowed.
The National Investigation Agency NIA today carried out raids at multiple locations across Jammu and Kashmir in connection with the funding of anti-India activities. Jammu and Kashmir Police and CRPF are also assisting the NIA. Raids were conducted at over 45 places across J&K, including Doda, Kishtwar, Ramban, Anantnag, Badgam, Rajouri and Shopian. People linked with Jamaat-e-Islami JEI are being raided. Our correspondent reports NIA team has flown from New Delhi to Srinagar to conduct the operations. The investigating body has seized documents and digital devices, and it is said to be one of the biggest crackdowns against Jamaat-e-Islami, an outfit that was banned by the central government in 2019 due to its pro-Pakistan and pro-separatist leanings. The Central Bureau of Investigation arrested 2 more persons yesterday in a case relating to derogatory posts on social media against judges and the judiciary. 5 persons have so far been arrested by the CBI in this case. CBI had registered a case on November 11th last year against 16 accused and taken over the investigation of 12 FIRs from CID, State of Andhra Pradesh, in pursuance of the orders of the Andhra Pradesh High Court.
Today is the 79th anniversary of the Quit India movement. On this day in 1942, Father of the Nation, Mahatma Gandhi, gave a clarion call of "Do or die" to all Indians to drive away the British from our soil. The movement started from Goalia Tank in South Mumbai. The day is observed as Agast Kranti Divas every year. More details from our correspondent.
On 8th August 1942, Mahatma Gandhi told a crowd at the Goalia Tank Maidan in Mumbai, "Let every Indian consider himself to be a free man." It was this famous do-or-die speech that launched the Quit India movement or the Bharat Chhoro Andolan. Several national leaders, including Mahatma Gandhi, Abdul Kalam Azad, Jawaharlal Nehru and Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel were arrested following this. The first half of the movement was peaceful with demonstrations and processions. The peaceful protest was carried till Mahatma Gandhi's release. Thereafter, the movement led to large-scale violence directed at railway stations, telegraph offices, government buildings and other emblems and institutions of colonial rule. The Quit India movement was the last major civil disobedience movement organized before India became a sovereign nation in 1947. Suparna Saikia, AIR News, Delhi.
Union Minister of Culture G. Kishan Reddy today inaugurated an exhibition on the Quit India movement in New Delhi, which was organized to commemorate its 79th anniversary today. As part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav being celebrated to mark 75 years of independence, National Archives of India has organized the exhibition. This exhibition displays the most exquisite collections of memoirs, photographs and other records that bring to life the immense contribution of the movement in achieving India's independence. Ministers of State for Culture, Arjun Ram Meghwal and Meenakshi Lekhi were also present on the occasion. The exhibition will remain open from 9th of August from 10 a.m. to 5:30 p.m. for the public till 8th of November this year.
The nation is celebrating Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav to commemorate the 75th anniversary of India's independence. Series of events are being organized to mark the occasion across the nation. The Mahotsav will be celebrated as Jan Utsav in the spirit of Jan Bhagidari. In this regard, the Indian Council of Historical Research, ICHR, has planned to celebrate the Mahotsav in a fitting manner. Talking to AIR News, Director ICHR, Dr. Omji Upadhyay said ICHR has planned 75 regional seminars wherein the focus will be on unsung heroes of the freedom struggle and historical places related with the struggle. He said activities have been planned according to 75 regions covering 10 to 12 districts.
Indian Council of Historical Research, an autonomous body under Ministry of Education, Government of India, we have planned a series of programs and publications throughout the year through 75 weeks. In fact, we have planned 75 regional seminars in which we will be focusing on few lesser known or unsung heroes of the freedom struggle movement. We will talk about incidents and places related to freedom struggle movement of that particular region, that particular area. We will be discussing on proscribed literature and institutions, organizations. We have planned 6 national seminars and we have distributed the entire period in 6 segments. In this way, we are going to celebrate, and our objective that the outcome should reach to the last person concerned of the country.
Dr. Upadhyay said 6 national seminars have been planned and the entire period have been distributed in 6 segments ranging from the year 1498 to 2022. He said 2 international seminars will be organized in London and Singapore, wherein the national movement will be discussed. Chief Justice of India and Patron-in-Chief National Legal Services Authority, NALSA, N.V. Ramana, has said that it is imperative to bridge the gap of accessibility to justice between the highly privileged and the most vulnerable. Saying that accessing justice in India is not merely an aspirational goal, Mr. Ramana added that we need to work hand in hand with various wings of the government to make it a practical reality. He said this while releasing the vision and mission statement and the legal services mobile application of NALSA at a hybrid event which was attended by functionaries across the country in New Delhi. He applauded the role of NALSA and its initiative for disseminating awareness and providing legal aid. The Legal Services mobile application incorporates features including seeking legal assistance, legal advice, and other grievances. Beneficiaries can also apply for pre-institution mediation, while victims can also file an application for victim compensation with the app. The app will soon be launched on iOS and in regional languages.
You are listening to the evening news on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to release the next installment of financial benefit under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi tomorrow. Prime Minister to chair UNSC high-level open debate on enhancing maritime security tomorrow evening. Over 50 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 97.39%. Delhi government allows schools to partially open for classes 10th and 12th from tomorrow. Weekly markets to also reopen with COVID-19 protocols in place. Met Department warns of heavy rain and lightning in different parts of Bihar for the next 2 days. 79th anniversary of Quit India movement observed today. And curtains come down on Tokyo Olympics with a glittering closing ceremony sans spectators. Bronze winner wrestler Bajrang Punia leads the Indian contingent. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मात नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो कुछ वादा करते हैं, मात नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे.
Welcome back to the evening news. After a spectacular 17-day action, curtains came down on the world's biggest sporting event, the 32nd Summer Games, with a glittering closing ceremony at the National Stadium in Japanese capital today. We have a desk report.
The roller coaster ride of Tokyo Olympic Games came to an end this evening. From heartwarming triumphs to the disappointment of missing out on a podium finish, the biggest sporting event that began on 23rd of July saw emotions running high. Tokyo edition of the Summer Olympics will go down in the history books as one of its kind. The games that previously was scheduled to take place last year had to be postponed because of the COVID-19 pandemic. This was also the first Olympic that was held without spectators. Due to the coronavirus protocol, the opening as well as closing ceremonies were held in near-empty stadium. At the spectacular closing ceremony today, festivities began with the fireworks that lit up the night sky, marking the beginning of the final chapter in which the organizers expressed gratitude for the countless individuals who lent them their strength and helped them make it to the closing ceremony. A video was shown at the ceremony looking back on the 17 days of competitions that saw record-breaking history being made across multiple sporting events. A Japanese all-female musical theatre group performed the national anthem at the closing ceremony as the Japanese national flag was raised. After the raising of the Japanese flag, the flag bearers for each country entered the stadium. Wrestler Bajrang Punia, who won a bronze in the men's freestyle 65-kilogram event this time, led the Indian contingent out during the parade of athletes.
And you can see the Indian tricolour being held aloft by none other than Bajrang Punia.
The bronze medalist, one of the 7 moments of joy for the Indian contingent at Tokyo 2020. India's finest ever performance. India took off thanks to Mirabai Chanu. And then a country of 1.4 billion people landed a gold thanks to the 23-year-old superstar. India's first track and field athletics gold medalist, Neeraj Chopra.
In contrast to the ethnic outfit athletes wore during the opening ceremony, they were seen in comfortable tracksuit this time. Only 10 officials with every team were allowed to attend the event. The theme of the closing ceremony was Worlds We Share, which gives a moment for each and every one of us to think about what the future holds and expresses the idea that each of us inhabits our own world. International Olympic Committee's President Thomas Bach, Japan's Crown Prince Akishino, and Japan's Prime Minister Yoshihide Suga attended the ceremony. The traditional handover of the Olympic flag also took place at the ceremony. Governor of Tokyo, Yuriko Koike, handed over the flag to International Olympic Committee's president, who passed it over to the first female mayor of Paris, Ana Maria Hidalgo. Paris is hosting the 2024 Summer Games. French President Emmanuel Macron invited the world to Paris for the 2024 Summer Games from the top of the Eiffel Tower. The French segment began with the national anthem and featured musicians playing throughout Paris, as well as a few notes from French astronaut Thomas Pesquet, who was playing his saxophone from the International Space Station. India's campaign in the Tokyo edition was the most successful one yet, that brought the countries a first ever gold medal in track and field, as Neeraj Chopra secured the top podium finish in the javelin throw. The Olympics saw Indian men's hockey team ending a wait of over 4 decades for a podium finish. The team led by Manpreet Singh clinched a historic bronze medal, defeating Germany 5-4 in the playoff match. The women's hockey team meanwhile pulled out a stunning performance, including beating tournament favourites Australia 1-0 to finish 4th at the Games. Shuttler PV Sindhu became the only second Indian to win 2 Olympic medals, winning a bronze in women's singles, while Mirabai Chanu lived up to the expectations with a silver. Among wrestlers, Ravi Dhaya with silver medal and Bajrang Punia with bronze brought the nation glory, while Lovelina Borgohain won the sole bronze medal in boxing. Overall, India with 7 medals comprising 1 gold, 2 silver and 4 bronze stood at the 48th position in the Games. United States topped the final medal count, earning 113 medals, including 39 gold. China came in second with 88 medals, 38 out of which are gold. In the end, as always, the biggest sporting games aim Games to underscore the message of the founder of the modern Olympics, Pierre de Coubertin, that the most important thing in the Olympic Games is not to win but to take part, just as the most important thing in life is not the triumph but the struggle. The essential thing is not to have conquered but to have fought well. And this message was served well in the Tokyo edition of the Summer Olympics. Swati Rakheja, Sports Desk.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi has congratulated the Indian contingent for the stupendous performance at the Tokyo Olympic Games. In a series of tweets, Mr. Modi said that every athlete who represented India is a champion. He said that the medals India has won have certainly made the country proud and elated. The Prime Minister said at the same time this is the time to keep working to further popularize sports at the grassroots so that new talent emerges and gets the opportunity to represent India in the times to come. He also thanked government and people of Japan for hosting a well-organized game. Mr. Modi said hosting games so successfully in such times gave out a strong message of resilience. He said it also demonstrated how sports is a great unifier.
In cricket, the first test between India and England in Nottingham ended in a draw after rain played spoil sport on the final day at Trent Bridge. India was on the verge of winning the opening test as they needed just 157 runs to achieve the target, but rain did not allow the play to start. Earlier, the visitors bundled out the hosts for 303 in the second innings, riding on Jasprit Bumrah's 5-wicket haul. This is Bumrah's second 5-wicket haul at Trent Bridge. Mohammad Siraj and Shardul Thakur got 2 wickets each. England set a target of 209 runs for India to win the first test. In the first innings, India posted 278 runs in reply to England's 183, taking a lead of 95 runs. Bharatiya Janata Party National President Jagat Prakash Nadda has praised the doctors of the country for their service to humanity during the COVID-19 pandemic. Mr. Nadda was addressing a gathering of COVID warriors at Agra in Uttar Pradesh today, where prominent doctors of the city were present. The program was organized to honor COVID warriors.
आप सब लोग बधाई के भी पात्र हैं, शाबाशी के भी पात्र हैं। आप लोगों ने मानवता की जो सेवा की है, उसको कोई सर्टिफिकेट नहीं दे सकता, उसकी कोई शाबाशी नहीं दे सकता। मन का संतोष ही सबसे बड़ी शाबाशी होगी, क्योंकि जिस तरीके से आप काम में जुटते हैं, इसका एहसास बहुत कम लोग कर सकते हैं। आपको खुद ही एहसास करके मन को खुशी लेनी पड़ेगी, यह मैं जरूर कहना चाहता हूं।
Mr. Nadda said that a new health policy was introduced in 2017 that has stopped infighting between all systems of treatment, that is, allopathy, Ayurveda and others. Mr. Nadda said that the BJP governments have taken several steps to improve the health infrastructure and facilities in the country and in Uttar Pradesh. He said that Uttar Pradesh is among the leading states in terms of COVID-19 tests and vaccination. He appealed to BJP workers to take the government schemes to the people. Chief Minister Yogi Adityanath also addressed the event. He said that the Uttar Pradesh government has provided all possible help to the people during the pandemic. He said that the central government is providing free of cost COVID vaccines in the country.
In Bihar, 14 people were killed and 4 injured in lightning strike incidents in 3 districts of Aurangabad, Rohtas and Banka. The deceased were working in agricultural fields. Met Department has forecast heavy rain and lightning in the next 48 hours in different parts of the state. People have been advised to remain indoors during natural calamity. Chief Minister Nitish Kumar has expressed grief over the incidents and announced an ex gratia of Rs 4 lakh to the next of the kin of the deceased. Mr. Kumar has ordered for free treatment to the injured persons. Karnataka Agriculture Minister B.C. Patil has informed that the central government flagship program Jal Jeevan Mission will be implemented in the state in a time-bound manner. Speaking to media persons in Haveri today, the minister informed that out of 91.91 lakh rural households in the state, over 28 lakh households are provided tapped water supply under the Jal Jeevan Mission. More from our correspondent.
Agriculture Minister in the state, B.C. Patil, has issued instructions to complete projects under Jal Jeevan Mission on time to provide tap water supply in rural areas. During 2021-22, the mission is to provide tap water supply to 25.17 lakh houses in the state. The minister launched a project to provide pipe water supply to Ingalagondi, Satigihalli and Shiragambi villages in Rattihalli Taluk of Haveri district today. This will benefit 1,055 rural households. He issued instructions to the officials to ensure that the work quality taken up under Jal Jeevan Mission is of high standard. The minister informed that the central government wants to provide piped water to 15.70 crore rural households in 18.93 crore rural areas by 2024. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
In the Union Territory of Jammu and Kashmir, the Puja Archana of the Holy Mace of Sri Amarnath Pilgrimage, popularly known as Chhadi Mubarak, was held this morning at Shankaracharya Temple in Srinagar. The annual pilgrimage of Sri Amarnath Ji has been cancelled for the second successive year due to the unprecedented COVID-19 pandemic. Sri Amarnath Shrine Board has already made arrangements of live darshan for the devotees across the world. More details from our Srinagar correspondent.
Chhadi Mubarak, led by Mahant Dipendra Giri, was taken to historic Shankaracharya temple for prayers on the occasion of Shravan Amavasya as per the age-old customs. The sound of conch shells reverberated and charged the whole atmosphere in and around the temple complex, and the Puja Archana was performed by chanting the Vedic hymns. Only selected number of sadhus participated in the prayers due to COVID-19 pandemic, following all the protocols set by the Union Territory Administration. The Chhadi Mubarak shall be taken to Sharika Bhavani Temple at Hari Parbat in Srinagar tomorrow to pay obeisance to the goddess Sharika. This is Sunil Kohl for AR News from Srinagar.
External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar shared concerns over Afghanistan's security situation during a meet with Qatar Special Envoy Mutkal bin Mazid al-Khatani in New Delhi. During the meet, Jaishankar shared New Delhi's perspective on the recent developments in war-torn Afghanistan. Mr. Majid was on a two-day visit to India to discuss the peace process in Afghanistan. The envoy also met with multiple key officials in the External Affairs Ministry. Bangladesh government has announced the lifting of the lockdown in the country from August 11 with certain restrictions in view of the COVID-19 situation in the country. The Cabinet Division of the government issued a notification today announcing the opening of the shops, malls, offices, banks and financial institutions. And now let us take a look at the weather forecast for tomorrow. The national capital Delhi is likely to witness generally cloudy sky with moderate rain. Temperature will hover between 27 and 34 degrees Celsius. Metropolitan cities including Mumbai, Chennai and Kolkata are also expected to witness generally cloudy sky with light rain. Mumbai will observe the minimum temperature of 27 degrees while the maximum is expected to be around 32 degrees. In Chennai, the temperature will vary between 28 and 37 degrees Celsius. Kolkata will observe a minimum temperature of 28 degrees and a maximum of around 32 degrees. Srinagar will experience partly cloudy sky over the day. Temperature will hover between 18 and 31 degrees Celsius. Jammu may witness partly cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. The minimum temperature is expected to be around 26 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 35 degrees. Leh is expected to have partly cloudy sky. The minimum and the maximum temperature will move between 12 and 28 degrees Celsius. Gilgit and Muzaffarabad may witness generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain or thunderstorm or dust storm. In Gilgit, temperature will hover between 20 and 35 degrees Celsius. In Muzaffarabad, the minimum temperature will be 21 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 37 degrees. Agartala may also see generally cloudy sky with one or two spells of rain or thunder showers. Temperature will hover between 26 and 32 degrees Celsius. Patna and Guwahati will have partly cloudy sky with possibility of moderate rain or thunderstorm. In Patna, minimum temperature will be 26 degrees Celsius. Maximum will be around 33 degrees. In Guwahati, temperature will hover between 26 and 35 degrees Celsius. Most of the cities in the North-East region, including Imphal, Shillong, Aizawl, Kohima, Itanagar and Gangtok, are all likely to witness generally cloudy sky with possibility of rain. Imphal will observe a minimum temperature of 19 degrees Celsius and a maximum of around 27 degrees. Shillong, it will hover between 18 and 26 degrees Celsius. In Aizawl, the minimum temperature will be 19 degrees Celsius, maximum will be around 27 degrees. In Kohima, the minimum and the maximum will be between 19 and 28 degrees Celsius. In Itanagar, temperature will hover between 22 and 34 degrees Celsius, and in Gangtok, temperature will vary between 18 and 23 degrees Celsius. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi to release the next installment of financial benefit under Pradhan Mantri Kisan Samman Nidhi tomorrow. Prime Minister to chair UNSC high-level open debate on enhancing maritime security tomorrow evening. Over 50 crore COVID-19 vaccine doses administered in the country so far. Recovery rate stands at 97.39%. Delhi government allows schools to partially open for class 10th and 12th from tomorrow. Weekly markets to also reopen with COVID-19 protocols in place. Met Department warns of heavy rain and lightning in different parts of Bihar for the next 2 days. 79th anniversary of Quit India movement observed today. Curtains come down on Tokyo Olympics with a glittering closing ceremony. Sans spectators. Bronze winner wrestler Bajrang Punia leads the Indian contingent. And in cricket, the first test between India and England in Nottingham ends in draw after rain plays spoil sport on the final day. And with that, we end the evening news. Good night.